Greetings, folks. This is Gear with another quick tour. I've been working on a project recently that's been requiring an awful lot of wool, and so I've been toying with different sheep farms and come to the conclusion that there's no real easy way to farm sheep for the wool. This is a setup I had that I played with. It basically pushes all the sheep forward, lets you manipulate them, but the problem I had is it's harder to get to the sheep in the back. This would work well, but it just doesn't really work with any kind of density. So this one I'm going to be scrapping here, but I wanted to show you before I did. It's the fence posts here are 1.5 high because the sheep are over 1 high. They can't fit through that gap, and so it allowed me to get in here and work, but I just can't work past the sheep. I tried my standard chicken farm thing. I had water floating up top there like that, and because sheep swim, so I thought, well, maybe if I can walk underneath them and work with them that way, it'd be easier to work with them. But for whatever reason, sheep fall right through the water. So this one failed miserably, actually really miserably. Then I remembered over here, I don't know if you guys remember me pointing out before, but how these cows are not wandering around. Where the cows that I had in my pen over there were wandering around because I had this fence post out. And I took the corner fence post out of this fence here, and it didn't matter how many cows I had in here. They don't seem to ever be glitching out the way animals have been glitching out of fences. I mean, he's kind of a ghost. It's a ghost cow. But he's not really leaving there. So this at one point was all full of cows. And I'd filled it up again, but they kept glitching out. So I thought, well, you know what, I'm going to try taking out fence posts over here and see how that works. And what I found was that it's actually easy for me to walk through and maintain my sheep as much as I want in here. And but these sheep don't seem to be glitching out. I don't know if I've just been lucky so far or what, but this is obviously overpopulated. And since I've done this, I haven't had any problems with sheep wandering around. So I'm going to stick with this for now and see how it goes. Alright, I've been working a little bit more on this sheep farm here. I just logged in, so we're going to wait for things to populate. I've done this a couple times and I haven't had any sheep glitching through anymore, so I'll show you what I've done if this works to prevent the sheep from glitching through. Looks like it worked again. Alright, so on this side here, what I did is I put a back wall of stone. I found that these corner posts, they were still glitching through even with this corner post out. The corner post being out make it convenient for me to go back and forth, and I could still go back and forth this way. I've left enough room for that, but they don't seem to be glitching through the corners anyway. So that's encouraging. I can still access everything quickly and easily. On this side here, what I did is I just added a glass row on top of the fence. Because glass uses a similar system as fence posts, you can also cut through the corners of the glass, and that seems to have held them in as well. So apparently it's not the corners that they're glitching through, or if it is the corners they're glitching through, it's happening in so few cases that it's not actually making a difference on my world. As you can see, I've got lots of sheep around here, and I should probably turn this sound down, eh? I've got lots of sheep around here, and it doesn't seem to be making any kind of difference at all. As I was working here, my children commented on the ornamentation and the color of my sheep. And in case you didn't know, all you need to do is take any dye and hit a sheep with it, and that sheep now becomes that color. And when you breed that sheep, its offspring will also be yellow. If you breed that sheep to a sheep of a different color, you'll get a chance of getting one or the other. You won't get a mix between yellow and green, or yellow and blue and getting green, for example. And when you shear that sheep, you'll shear the yellow wool, and that'll grow back as yellow. So that's all I've got for today. Hopefully next episode you'll be able to see what I put all this wool to use in. This is one last thing I wanted to show you. Anytime I log in, I find that I've got these guys glitching out. Now before I used to have them wandering around in here. They're not wandering around anymore. I added a row up here of blocks. Since they're 3 high, they seem to be getting stuck in that row, and that's where that suffocation effect is coming from. It's I hope they fix the glitching with these mobs soon, but for the time being it's a workaround. I know several people have mentioned there's no way to trap golems. This doesn't keep them from wandering, or I mean this doesn't keep them from dying, but it keeps them from wandering, and I'd much rather have them dead in here than having to hunt them all down. So that's it for today. Take care folks, and we'll see you soon.